Have. Hey.
It's really stupid, isn't it?
Hi, Shu.
Hey, Shu.
Shu height. Alright, what's up, everyone? It's Awesome Game Replays, episode number 22. We're talking about some Puyo action. Puyo Puyo, the series, and then we'll also be focusing on Puyo Puyo Tsu. And we got some vids. We got some 1cc replays, and we got some high-scoring runs as well. And on this episode, I'm co-hosted by Beatsco. What's up, Beatsco?
What's up, guys?
And the guests on this episode are S2PID, welcome,
Hello.
and Tucker.
Hi, hello.
So welcome, guys. Both you guys are Puyo players, and we're gonna talk about some Puyo today, and learn about why it's awesome and why it's fun to play, and why you guys like it too. So obviously Puyo, pretty long. I mean, the series has been around for a while now. It's got a lot of ports and different arcade games, and I guess not arcades, but maybe I don't know if it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't arcades. Okay.
Yeah, it started.
It was released in arcades. Yeah. Actually, it's still in arcades now, so.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be talking all about that. So, pretty awesome puzzle game. I'm pretty much a noob myself, so I'll be learning. But and what got you guys into Puyo Puyo to begin with? Whoever wants to start there.
Do you want me to go first, S2?
Okay, you can go first.
So, I mean, my story's pretty boring, but I grew up. My cousin had Kirby's Avalanche on his Super Nintendo, so I always played that. But like a couple years later, Sonic Mega Collection came out on GameCube, and that had Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on it, and I was like, huh, this is the same game. And I always like questioned that. I was like, that's weird. And then fast forward even more years, there was like this iToy. Do you guys remember the iToy on PlayStation 2?
Yes, I do actually. I played.
They had like a Sega game where you could. It was just like motion controls in a Sega environment, but they had a Puyo Pop Fever game, and I was like, huh, these look like the little round things from those video games I played growing up. That's weird. What the heck's a Puyo? And then I didn't Google it for another like 10 years. So
That's how it
present
starts.
day, maybe it was like 2013. I was like, you know what? Let's finally solve this mystery. And I like just did a deep search on what Puyo was, and ended up getting really involved in the series. So yeah.
So you kind of liked puzzle games in general at that point.
Yeah,
already?
I love puzzle games.
Mhm.
I always like Puyo Puyo, or more accurately, Mean Bean Machine and Avalanche were like my go-to puzzle games to play with my cousin. So we played that a lot. It was always one of my favorites, and now it's like my favorite. So
Interesting. I think probably a bunch of people can relate about them playing the Mean Bean Machine.
oh yeah, that's how
getting
most
into it.
Western players started.
It's kind of cool that it's like it's from that game. Like, it's such a silly title.
Yeah, it's cute.
So what about you, S2PID? What got you into Puyo, and how did that come to be, playing it?
So when I was in middle school, I was playing another Sega game, Phantasy Star Online. It was like on a private server, and like since it's like an MMO or whatever, like it always has like items from other Sega franchises in there. So there was like a Puyo mag item, and I was just like, oh, what's this? And then one of my guildmates happened to know, like, no. And like, oh yeah, it's a Puyo. Have you played any of the Puyo games? I was like, oh, no. I'm poor. I don't play anything. So then I ended up getting Puyo Pop for the Game Boy Advance, and that was pretty fun. I don't know. I had already played like Tetris and other stuff, so I already kind of like puzzle games.
Mhm.
But like I really like how Puyo was you could actually block your opponent and stuff, and the match 4 style of gameplay is really intuitive and easy to learn. So then I started talking to my guildmate more, and plot twist, they were actually like a Puyo master. So then like we were playing on the PC version of Puyo Fever. They're like 12 chaining me, and I'm like, dang, I have to get this good too. And then
That's
think-
cool.
I think my Puyo master from back in the day. I think she got hit by a motorcycle. A
Whoa.
bear driving a motorcycle.
A
I think
bear?
that's the story. Yeah, apparently. I don't know.
The fuck?
That was just the rumor going along because like they
What was
just
the
suddenly
rumor?
disappeared one day. And
That's
then
too
the other
bad.
people were like, it was all because of the bears. I'm like, I don't know. I was like 14, so I'm like, okay, that sounds plausible. So I kept
Well-
training on my own, and yeah, now I'm here. I've worked really hard to get to my current skill level, I guess.
So
I could be better.
So
I
like,
don't know.
throughout how many years have you guys been playing then? Like
Well,
at the level you're at now?
Oh, at least
Like 10
4
years.
4 years and 10. Dang, that's a
yeah.
lot of Puyo action.
Well, I
He's
mean,
way better than I am.
most of those years were filled with just like not doing anything because we didn't really have a huge Puyo community, so there wasn't a lot of people to practice against. That really stunts your growth. So
Yeah, I
I wouldn't
joined
put
at
too
a
much
good
stock into
time.
it. Yeah, you joined when all the resources were actually there. It's like you got better so fast. I
Yeah,
watched you
that's
grow
true.
up.
Aw.
So what was the
brother.
main way to
Did
play?
you know we're
like-
brothers?
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're related.
you guys are?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. All right then.
What was your question?
I don't know. I forget now.
Oh no.
Crap. Oh, what about you, Beats Go? Do you have a thing or?
Well, I haven't really played this game enough compared to the Stupid or Tucker, but the first time I got real exposed to it was video games. It's some like not television, YouTube channel that talks about weird video games, I guess, and so happened Puyo Puyo was talked about with the odd character designs. Like, oh, this is kind of weird, especially I guess the name the enemies were called. So, and that was like 5 years ago. So, I think I got Project Mirai DX, which is on the 3DS,
Oh, yeah.
and so happened to have, I think it was Puyo 41 or something. Mirai
It's
41. I
Puyo
forgot the-
39.
Yeah, that's what it's. And I was like, what is this game? I was like, oh, it's that odd game. And I think I just kind of like, oh, whatever. I wasn't that good. So I think a couple of months before, I was like, oh, Puyo Puyo Tetris came out. And that's when I'm like, hey, maybe I should really start playing the game. So I got it for the Switch, and now I'm playing it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But wait, deal breaker for our friendship. Do you play Puyo more or Tetris more? That's actually, you know what? You don't have to answer this one right now. We'll get off.
I'll let you know by the end of the episode.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played some of that Puyo Tetris game. It was on the PS3 too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it came out like
Japanese
3 years
style.
ago, actually. So
Yeah, that was
it's just
fun.
no one knew.
I got to do a fun multiplayer experience where it was like one of our friends was good at Puyo, then it was the three of us who don't know how to play Puyo, and so like we're on the Tetris trying to take him out 3-on-1, and then he still beat us,
nice.
like motherfucker. Because he can do the 3-on-1 matches.
Yeah, that's cool. How much customization is in PPT?
It was like,
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that one player and the world, but just
What?
Let's not talk about. No, you heard the video of I think it was at I forgot.
Oh,
not Evo.
Anime Evo?
Yeah, something like
Amamiya?
yeah.
What about
Oh,
them?
that.
Oh,
Amamiya
that
versus
video.
the world.
What about it?
is there some like viral Puyo video or something?
Well, it's
Crushed
a little
everyone.
different. Yeah,
Hmm.
but we'll talk about it later.
We could look at that maybe later.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Okay, so I like these histories about Puyo. Good stuff. Why don't you guys try to teach us a little bit about the basic mechanics of Puyo? I do have that 1cc video running right now, but we could probably just run into that right now if you guys want to kind of get into it during that 1cc vid, or if you want to get into it before, and then maybe commentate the 1cc video more closely. Either way, it doesn't really matter. We got a lot of match footage, so we can really just go off the rails later on.
Oh crap! I forgot to hit play. Hey, what second are you guys on?
Yeah, what is the timestamp? Because I think we're a little behind.
No, yeah, I didn't do a countdown for the video yet, so you're good. Yep.
Okay,
I'm watching the stream on my dual monitor, so I'm like, oh no.
I'll just
No,
talk
you're
about
all
something.
good.
Okay, for Puyo Puyo, it's pretty easy. You just match 4 of a color, then the Puyos disappear. Wow.
Yeah.
And then if you line them up so that they pop consecutively, you get a chain. And longer chains do a lot more damage. And they send the cute, great things to the other side. Like, longer your chain, the more garbage Puyos get sent.
I got a question. Actually continue, because I like the...
Oh, no, ask your question.
I was gonna ask, like, how close would you say Puyo is to, like, Tetris Attack? Because that's one that a lot of people are familiar with, but seems like the systems are pretty similar.
Besides making chains and maybe, like, the longevity of a match at times, like, almost nothing.
Yeah, it's
really?
totally different.
Yeah. It's like in Tetris Attack, the garbage comes from...
It comes from the top, but like it gives you more pieces to work with. So then it creates like this huge RNG element where you kind of just survive forever until like someone, I don't know, accidentally uses up too much of their resources.
Yeah.
But the game doesn't give you enough information to know whether you should be clearing certain things or not. So it's kind of like a crapshoot if you like get too good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Right.
Wait, what were we talking about?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Yeah, back to Puyo. Okay. So since the garbage Puyos and Puyo, so you can clear garbage Puyos by connecting 4 of the same color next to them. But if like a whole screen of it falls on you, you kind of just die immediately. So the goal is to make a chain that's bigger than your opponent's, because that will counter it. And then send like your leftover chain like back to the opponent. So yeah, like that's like the main core of it, just making a huge chain. But then when you get to like higher level play, you realize like you could also send shorter chains to send like garbage that will block your opponent's trigger. So then you have, like a huge mind game element appears where like you have to read the other person, like attack the weak points in their chain and seal them off so they like don't have any more options and you can't set off their chain or do anything. And so like you fight for an advantage over like their space.
Did we mention offsetting?
Huh?
Offsetting?
Oh, kind of. It's like a given if you watch this video, right?
Well,
like,
it's important to mention, like, for people that only played like Mean Bean Machine. In Puyo Tsu, they added offsetting, which is the ability to counter a chain that's being sent to you. So as long as you set off your chain while there's garbage above you, you can counter it and overpower your opponent.
Yeah, but in Mean Bean Machine, they didn't have the countering mechanic, so like both players just kind of get like... Actually, no, have you seen those videos of the Kusoge tournaments in Japan where like they play Puyo Puyo 1? So like basically people are getting 5 chains and then they mash rotates the floor kick over and over until someone dies. It's like both people have garbage queued up above them. So what triggers the garbage fall is like placing a piece. So you like stall as long as possible till someone else dies. But a lot of times it ends up in a tie too. It's so dumb. So thankfully they added in the counter mechanic. And that made it truly competitive to play Puyo. It's great.
Yeah, it's a little hard to visualize the counter mechanic right now. Maybe you get, when we watch this video, you can commentate exactly.
It'll be a lot more obvious in the actual versus matches. In the one credit clear, he's kind of just trying to make the biggest thing possible as quickly as possible.
Okay, fair enough.
The CPU doesn't really counter.
Yeah, not that well.
Yeah.
Or it just does it randomly.
So yeah, those basically all the mechanics we just talked about. It's basically been the standard rule set for Puyo Puyo for about, I guess 24 years now.
Yeah,
like that's how everyone still plays.
They kept it pretty simple, like kept it true to the gameplay the whole time. Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty unique among like basically any game really. How long like the mechanics have gone without having to be changed. Because I know like stuff like Tetris, like there's like a bajillion different changes that change the meta all the time. Or like things are just like mathematically superior to do, like different stacking techniques. And that's always kind of dumb. But in Puyo, it's very straightforward. Like nothing's really hidden from you. Match 4, that's pretty much it.
What do you mean match 4?
Just to make
Match
a chain.
4 color.
Oh,
Yeah, match 4 colors to make a chain.
Right, gotcha.
Think of Puyo Puyo as playing Go. It's a very simple game, but there's so many layers to it.
Oh yeah, that's
I
that's
hear
a
the
good
comparison
analogy.
a lot from Japanese players. Yeah.
Compared to Go? Is that what you
Well,
said?
just like comparing Puyo's like the way it has like I don't know, masterfully designed or something. That kind of sentiment.
Well, it seems like you
compares,
can almost compare
like-
it to like even just Tetris is the obvious comparison. Like, I mean, that formula hasn't really changed too
Oh,
much.
actually, it's
I mean,
changed a lot.
I mean, it has, but I mean, they still have like the same field or whatever, and
I
like
guess.
the same width. I mean, I think. I don't know. I guess. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, Tetris has changed.
Well, actually,
but-
technically, in some of the newer games, you have like 20 hidden rows above your field. It's like so crazy and broken.
Oh, I mean
But this is a
Tetris.
Puyo stream, so let's not talk about that.
Yeah,
I'll
like
just get salty.
All right.
let's talk about it.
All right. Why don't we watch this 1cc video together, and we'll try to. I'd like to. Yes, let's do that, and I'll probably have some other questions as we go through here.
Sure.
So let's get that queued up then.
Okay, do you want us to start from the beginning?
Yep, from 0,
Yeah.
and it'll
Okay.
be on go off a 3, 2, 1 go countdown. All right, let's do it. So this is a 3D Puyo Puyo Tsu from the 3D Classics collection. From
Nintendo 3DS.
Okay, and then from Nostalgia Ninja, which apparently you guys know who that is,
Yeah,
which is cool.
he's our big brother.
Another brother.
Yeah.
Oh, another mother?
We're a big family.
Excellent. Okay, I'll do the countdown then. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So
Sweet.
1 credit clear.
Oh, Barome.
You know, I wonder what difficulty setting Ninja put this on. So in the 3D Classics collection for the Nintendo 3DS, it's basically a part of the arcade version. And you know how arcade games have like, you know, those hidden difficulty settings to squeeze the coins out of you? So that's like a hidden option you're allowed to access on the 3DS version.
A
So
harder
like there's a
difficulty.
difficulty scaler from like 1 to 5, and I think the default is 3.
Okay, you guys were
Well, it's
scoffing
just like
about
people-
the character right away. What's the deal with the characters? If you want to get into that.
So some characters have harder AI than the other ones. So you can kind of influence your choice when that like selection wheel is going through.
So I think the ideal person to pick is like Skeleton T because he doesn't rotate his pieces.
Yeah.
Right?
So he's less likely to hurt you.
Yeah, or harass you. So if you're going for a high score run, you want to pick him first.
As your
So yeah,
as your opponent, is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's like it's on that roulette though. So how do you pick up the roulette?
I think there's some
It's just
RNG
timing.
involved with the roulette, but I think you could
Oh.
pick it pretty
It
reliably.
slows
with
down
timing.
actually after a period of time. So if you just wait long enough, but that's like wasting time. So
And then I'm assuming it gets harder each
Yeah.
stage in.
Yeah. After, I think depending on like the internal difficulty value, like eventually you start getting damage reduction in your chains. So basically your chains, you know, just send less damage, which means like you have to work harder to get something like to one shot the opponent. It's so annoying. I hate it.
but
Also, it
the
goes up to,
game
like,
switches
5
to
colors.
5 colors.
Yeah, so the competitive standard for Puyo Puyo is 4 different colors. But in these old style games, eventually they always hit like 5 colors in the match, and it's super annoying.
Just makes things harder.
Yeah.
That's all.
More RNG is involved, and like your opponent just like pelts you with one chains over and over again, so you can barely do anything.
Yeah.
Would you guys want to commentate what this player is doing?
Right now
To
he's
get-
building stairs.
Oh, so
And stairs is like this idea of just stacking 3 Puyo in rows so that when they pop, they'll just easily connect. It's pretty simple to visualize.
So once you get to like, I guess, formally training in Puyo Puyo, you learn that a lot of Puyo chains use patterns. Patterns are basically shapes that can easily repeat into each other, or like they have like easily recognizable form that's like easy to memorize. And a lot of players rely on those to make their big chains using the least amount of pieces. So I think if you get good at using patterns, like a lot of Japanese players, they're always hitting 10 chains every single match in like a competitive setting. If the like a harassment battle hadn't occurred first, like basically everyone's chaining ability in the competitive scene is like 10 at the minimum.
10 out of 10.
Which sounds like a lot, but I don't know. After you've been playing for so long, it's kind of like every day, like Tuesday.
Yeah. Take it for granted.
I guess it's like walking the dog, I guess.
Yeah, or riding a bike.
Yeah, or taking a dump, you know, just everyday stuff.
So I saw he made a bunch of the 3 segments on the bottom there, like almost like a staircase. So
kind of L shape.
Yeah, this is called it's very close to something called L shape. He was kind of struggling earlier because now you see that the match switched to 5 colors, and everyone hates that.
But also
it just like introduces so much
faster.
RNG. Oh yeah, it's faster too. So there's one thing that I don't really like about like the old Puyo games, even though I know purists like it, but compile version Puyo games, they only use like 4-way inputs. So like it's just very hard to get things to like the side columns while also maintaining speed. So like in the newer games, like if you want to play fast, you want to like shift to the column you want and soft drop immediately, right? So in the newer games, you use 8-way inputs. So like you can just hold like diagonal right to shift to the rightmost column and then move downwards to frame 1. But in these games, you have to manually, you know, like it's 4-way, so you have to hold right and then manually hold down as fast as you can.
right.
And that's hard, especially when like the game itself speeds up in these against the computer. Like it has like a default like soft drop speed of like, I don't know. It's super fast. It gets really hard to control. I think you'll see soon.
He took it on
Alrighty.
purpose.
Do you
Always
see how fast it's going? It's so annoying.
I heard there's
Like if you play official games for too long, like the second ones, like going back to these like Puyo Puyo Tsu is like it feels kind of clunky.
It looks like he's building a Hellfire, which is like a really big 2-chain.
So
So see how they all pop at once? That does a lot
Yeah.
of damage.
Nice.
So that's another thing about Puyo mechanics is if you pop more Puyo at once, you can do more damage.
yeah,
But
and if you pop
overall better to do a chain.
yeah, most of the time it's better to do a chain, but if you can like, well, it just depends on the battle situation. So
Yeah.
clearing a long chain does the most damage usually, but you can also do pretty good damage by clearing lots of Puyo at once and lots of different colors at once. Those also both get their own multiplier added to your chain. And the advantage of doing those is that like, if you think about a chain and then a multi-popping chain that both use the same amount of Puyos, the multi-popping chain might be a little bit weaker, but it clears faster. So if you want to catch your opponent off guard, you might want to opt for those instead. You just have to
Dang.
decide how to use your resources.
So you've got options for your
Yeah.
attack. That's pretty cool.
Oh, there's tons of options.
I can start to see that. Yeah.
and there's a lot of pattern setups too you can do too. It's like crazy amount.
Another important thing to note about Puyo Tsu is that there's a point requirement to get to the next stage. So, I
Yeah, it's
believe
super rough.
believe it's determined by chain length. So, like, you get a bunch of points depending on how long your chain is, but maybe speed as well.
Well, yeah, I think there's a time bonus too.
Yeah. So you want to be fast and create a long chain, and then you can just like skip. Because if you notice, he's still on the same floor, but it's his stage 6. So he fought, I believe he fought Witch first, and now he's fighting Pekista.
An ideal run is you hit the put requirement in one match always. So then I think you only play a total of 8 stages, but it's super hard because like these, like with 5 colors and like these opponents pelting one chains at you all the time. It's super unreliable. I think you have to hit like a 6 chain at least just to get the point requirement.
And like we mentioned, like the damage scales as you go up. So this, you could send like a 2 chain, and then the CPU can just do a 1 chain, and they'll just eat your whole chain up because of the damage scale.
Sorry, what's the point requirement for again?
To get to the next stage.
Oh,
So yeah, and Puyo
see.
Puyo Tsu, the story is that Arl has to climb a tower, and each tower has a set number of enemies. So like, if you don't hit like the floor's point requirement, you have to fight another enemy on the same floor. But if you hit the requirement, you just skip on to the next one.
Ah,
So,
that's interesting.
in total, like the least amount of fights you can do is 8. But I don't know. Sometimes it's just hard to hit the point requirement, so you have to play more than that.
That's a nice like replay kind of feature. I like that.
Yeah, it kind of makes every playthrough different in a way.
Like the better you get, the less dudes you're gonna be, less peeps you're gonna be facing.
Right. But it's also just like really hard because of all the BS you have to deal with.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how old school arcade games are.
So I heard you mention stuff about like weird games earlier.
I
So
did.
Puyo is like totally weird. It's so fun.
Oh, it's wacky.
Yeah, it's like
Waku.
I don't know. Like if you look at the old school like Puyo Puyo RPGs, you just think like whoever's like writing the storyboards or whatever, they're just like high or something. It's so funny. So like what was it? Puyo Puyo Box. Like I don't know why, but the Arl's animation for opening doors is like she kicks all of them open and they fly off the screen. Just like normal doors, she just kicks them. She breaks every single door and they like regenerate when she comes back.
Arl is the main
Yeah.
protagonist of Puyo, so she's
Yeah,
like the
it's
girl you're playing.
Yeah.
And that, as I understand, she's from the Mado Monogatari series. Like,
Yeah.
what's the deals with that? What's the deal with that series? I forgot.
It's like an old school dungeon crawler / lots of other random things. Like the station. I don't know. Basically, like I guess back in the day, like with different products, you would package like a little CD with short stories and stuff or like mini games. So like Compile did a lot of those with Arl in it. So like there's this whole like compendium of things we don't really know about. But basically, she's from a dungeon crawling RPG series where she's a magician in training. Usually she ends up seeing like some really horrific things. Like I think for some reason, like kindergartners in her world, they have to go through they have to climb a tower and defeat tons of monsters. And then at the end of the game, she watches her class turn into zombies. And she's only 5 years old. It's pretty metal. It's like I don't know, scary, I guess.
It's the chibi world.
Yeah.
Think of Puyo Puyo as like a revitalization of the series, almost. Think about it.
Yeah.
The funny thing about Puyo is like you said, Monogatari is like where it started, and then Puyo was just a spin-off. But Puyo became so popular they just ended up doing this instead.
And
Yes.
the Puyo game was in the RPGs too, wasn't it?
No, the monster. The monster Puyo was just like the generic slime enemy.
Okay, gotcha. They weren't like
So it's
mini
like-
games in there before the official games.
So that would be like Dragon Quest having like their own slime spin-off and it becoming better or more popular than their actual core
Yeah.
series. They're just like, let's make puzzle games now.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
All right, let's get back to the gameplay here.
sure.
What's too late.
Yeah.
This should do some really good chains.
Yeah, 40 seconds. That's pretty
That's good.
decent.
Yeah, that's almost a 9 chain over there. Oh,
So he's nearing the end here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, he's at Mass
So
Satan. So
there's two different endings to Puyo Puyo Tsu. If you manage to once you see it, or you do some really, I don't know, some point,
some like score threshold.
something really weird. But basically, if you fulfill certain conditions, you fight mass. Like okay, so the normal boss, if you die a couple times, is Satan. But if you once you see it, you get masked Satan.
I don't know who that
So-
is.
Sweet.
Yeah, very
It's a
mysterious.
mysterious character.
Who could it be?
I like the rose in the mouth.
Oh yeah, he's very charming.
Oh, he dropped it. Oh, it's back.
Yeah, he works hard for
Oh, it's
his
back.
Oh,
So like the main plot of Puyo is usually that Satan's just trying to do a wacky scheme in order to get with Arl, really.
Damn.
And Satan's
Yeah.
like 3,000 years old or something, or maybe more than that.
yeah, it's totally problematic. But basically, Arl just, I don't know, beats him up every single time. It's just like, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Arl
off on my
doesn't
day,
stand up
like
for
eat
that.
curry. Yeah.
Did you mention the point requirement to fight Mass Satan? Shu mentioned that in
Yeah,
the chat. Okay.
yeah. I briefly mentioned it. It's some kind of score threshold.
Yeah, like if you
Okay.
like, I don't know.
If you make like a 15 chain on the first floor, then you're like set.
No, I don't think. Yeah, I think overall you have to get hit a certain point requirement. Also, I think there was like another way you could like stall it on the first floor. I don't remember.
Oh,
I don't know. Those ways are
that's
too
cool.
dumb. I'd rather just kill everyone really fast.
I think I know what you're talking about.
So I like that you actually have to do good to, you know, actually do the last boss.
Yeah,
It's pretty neat.
TLB, man.
but the ending is also different too. Or wait a minute, no, this is maybe that was in the home console versions. There's like a different ending where like Satan takes off his mask and he's like, are you surprised it's me? And Arl's just not impressed and she walks away and he's like, no, come back.
Mhm.
So on the PlayStation, they have a completely voice acted version of Puyo Puyo Tsu, where like
Oh,
she
Kaito
actually
Ben
like
or
there's like
whatever.
actually like little cutscenes in between the fights where like Arl talk crap to all the monsters and they get offended and try to fight. But you know, she's the main character, so she always wins.
Mhm.
Yeah, Arl's like
look,
so rude.
he did 11 stages. That's his time, and Max Frenza is like the highest chain you made. Oh, and he was playing on. Oh no, that's
So yeah, it
just the
says
cool-
finish Mask Satan, so
Yeah,
that's what you want at the
the
end.
true ending.
Nice score.
Not bad from Nostalgia Ninja.
Nostalgia Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, sweet. That was pretty cool. Suppose we can get into some matches now.
Yeah.
Get to the nitty gritty here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
real stuff.
And we got a lot of matches here. We got first of all some like grand final match, and then just a bunch of matches from I'm assuming a tournament. Is this what we got here, Beats Go, or what is this?
Yes. So the first one is actually actual sponsored championship bracket matches in Japan, stated in 1997. I'm not sure when or where exactly, but
They're
this
pretty
is,
hype.
yeah, it's a really
Damn.
crazy.
They have audio on the stream, right? So they can hear the video. Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, they do.
Yeah. This one's cool because they're like chanting as like the characters clear their chains because every character is like a shout. Well, in old school Puyo, there's only 2 different shouts, but
Well, I didn't realize like
You'll see.
Puyo was this big at this point in time.
oh yeah, it was huge.
Oh yeah, it was huge.
You guys want to talk a little bit about the popularity of Puyo? Like, I didn't realize that.
It was one of the most popular puzzle games in arcades back in that time, I guess. Basically because I don't know, it's just really simple, easy to understand, but the skill ceiling is like infinitely high. Everyone loved it. I also had really cute characters, and
Yeah.
I think I read an interview about like when they were designing this game, they went to arcades and did some research, and they noticed how like people love shouting along with the characters. Like, you know, when Street Fighter, like tire uppercut, you know,
Yeah.
people love that. So they added in the bell shouts in Puyo Puyo too.
Wow, it's like a It's like a cultural phenomenon. I didn't even realize that.
I think they also had like maybe some manga as well as like
Oh, of course.
audio.
Oh, yeah,
drama
they had-
CDs too.
Drama
Yeah.
CDs.
They had
Yeah.
everything for Puyo Puyo. They milked the crap out of it.
Everything except an anime.
Yeah, straight.
Oh,
to
Besides
wait,
the
wait.
station shorts.
All right. which by the way are amazing to watch. Even though
Yeah,
short,
they're funny.
just You don't even need to know Japanese, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, they're super fun. I think the one that most people like is a Comet Summoner, where you play as Witch. That one's pretty cool.
Oh, we're talking about the movies, but yeah, the games too.
Movies?
Or short films.
So wait, are you playing the video on stream?
Not yet, no. So is this the same Puyo we were just watching, or which one is this? It says 2, but
it's the second one.
This is still Puyo Puyo Tsu.
And is this you think they're playing? Is this an arcade one or what?
This is the arcade version. It looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is a versus match as opposed to a 1 credit clear, so it's kind of different.
Yeah, you want to preface like some versus stuff before we get into this, or should we just jump into it and then just break it down as we go through more matches? It doesn't either way.
I mean, we could hit play because
it's kind of long.
Leads into the video anyways.
Yeah, let's just play.
All right then, sounds fine. Okay, let's do it then. Here comes the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
But I guess to get it started, in competitive Puyo, like S2 mentioned earlier, nothing's hidden from you. So you can see your opponent's board and they can see yours. You both get the same pieces. So nothing's like a mystery.
Yeah, this intro, man.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty epic.
From the panel.
Is this Kumachoma when he was like 12 years old? I think it is. I don't know. Kumachoma is like one of the longest running, like, I don't know, I wouldn't say he's like still the best, but he's most a well-respected Japanese player since he's been playing since, I don't know, forever.
Dude, that devious smirk. Too good.
Oh yeah, this looks like. Wait, are they using controllers?
Super NES. No, it's Super NES.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, they're
I
playing on
love
the
that
SNES version. Oh well,
That's
whatever.
my favorite version of Tsu.
Cool.
It has the best music. I love the NES.
Wow,
SNES.
look at that crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge crowd.
Oh, they have a person dressed up as Honeybee on stage.
Cool. So. Oh. Whoa.
So this is the meta back in 1997. People doing stairs. Well, do you see how player 2 blocked off players 1's like, well, it was blocked off, but player 1 dug through it.
Whoa. This is kind of low res. Hang on.
Yeah.
I think it's always been low res for this one.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. Wait, I remember. Oh, whatever.
I'm just so impressed how fast they're managing to go these forward inputs. You really have to grow up with it, I guess. I started with modern Puyo games, so I wouldn't really know.
Wow. So the guy on the right, he kind of like built his left column really high so that he could dig to it in the event that his opponent sent a lot of garbage to him. So now he's to be able to set it off because he built smartly. Or smart.
You can tell first player side is responding to it now.
Yeah. And now he's going to counter it over. And it wasn't enough, so he took the hit.
Yeah, so in Puyo Puyo, you always have to judge risk. Like, if I take this attack, do I have enough space to like still get this bigger chain than the other person? Will my harassment seal off their chain long enough for like me to like get a finishing attack or something? So it looks like, so player 2 did like a Hellfire start, you know, the big power 2 with multiple colors. Oh, it was a 2-chain. So player 1, he wants to pop the reds on the right side, but with 2 rows of garbage above it, it's hard to get to it. So this is why it's important to be watching your opponent all the time, so you don't get hit with like surprise attacks like that.
There's actually a video of some of the top players where you see where their eyes being looking at the screen.
Oh yeah. So some of the players have used eye tracking software to show like where on the board they're looking at, and you can see that most of the time like they move really fast between like their next piece, their opponent's next piece, and like their opponent's trigger or their like secondary chains, their harassments. They never really look at their own board. It's crazy. I'm definitely not at that level yet. They've been playing for like a whole like 2 decades, so there's that.
Oh my gosh, that's a really huge chain.
Yeah.
So player 1 should start off his full chain. Yeah. So this is 1997. So I think the whole meta about like harassing your opponent with small chains to gain a space advantage, it hasn't fully developed yet.
Oh wow, okay.
These guys are going for safe big chains most of the time.
So like they both had 2 big chains going on there, but the other guy's chain, like he got the very end of it, so he sent it over. Is that what happened
No,
there?
the guy on the right had a bigger chain overall.
Okay.
So the overflow damage went back.
Because he had the bigger chain.
Yeah.
But keep in mind also, once you trigger your chain, you can't do anything. You have to wait until it's finished.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big consideration for whether you want to like harass or not. Because like if your opponent reacts really fast, then you might accidentally have locked yourself into like a bad situation.
Alright, the guy on the right did stairs.
I know a lot of people like kind of criticize Puyo for being slow, but like I don't know. That's just like the worst opinion ever.
Oh no.
You have to think so fast.
Hype.
Is that a what's that called? GTR in the middle?
No, neither of these are really GTR. The one on
really
the left is
GTRs.
flat stacking, and the one on the right is stairs. If we see GTR, we'll point it out. But GTR is like the basic transition and/or turnaround. That's what they call it in modern Puyo or in Puyo Tetris.
Basically, a lot of people do it because I don't know, it's fast and it's easy to build off of.
But
It's
basically,
pretty reliable with the opening pieces you usually get too.
a turnaround is like when you're building a chain, eventually you're going to hit the wall and you need to basically move your chain in the other direction to keep building.
Actually, well, let's go back a second. So the most efficient way to build a chain isn't to go like, you know, directly upwards. It's to go across the field, up, and then back the other way, like horizontally. So you want to, like, once you build horizontally over to the wall, you want to build directly upwards. That's called a turnaround. And then you want to build back the other way. So GTR is a type of turnaround that's really easy to do.
Oh, I wonder if that was a dumb harassment at the beginning there. Oh no, that's alright. Well, player 1's at an advantage.
They're about to make a power 3 chain or something.
Yeah.
Or just a power chain in general. Basically, well, for the Western community, we call power chains just chains that pop a lot of Puyos or colors at the same time. So you'll see at the left side that the yellow, purple, and red are going to pop all together, and that adds a huge bonus.
He just gave up.
Yeah. It's kind of courteous just to get up when you see something totally fatal about to hit you.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't like their time being wasted.
Yeah, so it's like a minor thing really, but it's technically disrespectful to set off your chain despite you knowing that you're gonna lose when you're playing Puyo, because you're just wasting the other player's time.
Well, I think nowadays no one really cares anymore. It's just like whatever.
That's what my daddy told me.
But I mean, I guess it was bad back in the day when people still played in arcades. You know, there was the IRL time limit of
Oh right.
go to school the next day.
So Kumo-chan's dressed up as Shizo, right?
I think so.
It's cute.
So right now this is match.
Oh shit.
Rigged.
Oh, is it really? Are they only playing 5 points?
I'm not sure what player 1 is doing. So basically, they're doing these little 1 chains. I only send a couple garbage across. If you really want to attack your opponent decisively, you should do like a 2 or something. Because like a 1 chain does like 1 garbage, but a 2 chain does like a whole row of garbage, and that can
It's
be
so hard
a
to
lot
read
more
this chain
troublesome.
with the compression.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I want to
Oh,
say.
there goes the full
That's a bigger
chain.
chain. Oh,
This is
now
about like a
he said-
10.
打った連鎖が相手の方がたくさんくっつけてたんで帰ってきちゃうんですよね。なので帰るんですね、一つ。
Oh wow, a 10 in return.
ここでうまいお家がかけられればよかったんですけど。
Wow,
Yeah,
never
so-
giving up.
Yeah.
That was really close.
So now it's like this quick struggle to get the advantage.
結構
So player 1 has the advantage in terms of space and just like more resources available. But if he gets careless, they'll get cut off.
Right.
Because the thing with garbage, you can use it to offset the other player's field too,
緑から消せば
because it's kind of another Puyo.
There you go.
4連鎖で
Wow. And there's the respectful handshake. GG. Thanks for playing. Oh, that's it. My
Sweet.
video ended.
Yep.
So yeah, that was the championship matches back in the 1997 era of Puyo Puyo.
That was
I
pretty
was
sick.
2 years old.
Ugh. Great response. All right, that's pretty hype. So we have more matches here. What is this, Beats Go?
Okay, so I'm not sure what I'm not sure. You guys can like.
I'll
you know,
explain. So
Okay.
basically, every year, the top ranking Puyo players for the arcade version of Puyo Puyo 2, they get together and have league matches. So there's the S League, A League, B League, C League, and that's just how they do like their rating system, like community wise. And so every year they have like I think like 4 or 5 people participate in the S League matches, and they do like round robin. First to it used to be first to 100 points. That would take like 4 hours straight of just playing. But I think the year they did this, it was only first to 50. So it's a lot shorter.
yeah,
but
it's,
here
it's still
they're-
long.
Yeah, so I think the year they've been doing this, they were sponsored by Red Bull and like some esports team called like Samurai Frontier Gaming. They're not really around now because of some sketchy stuff, but it just goes to show Puyo is trying to become an esport in Japan. Or well, it sort of is, but it just doesn't have money behind it because of Japanese like laws and stuff.
Do you think it's
Yeah.
worth mentioning that article you read the other day, S2?
Oh yeah, I read something about the way esports works in Japan. So like it's really hard for people to run like local tournaments for video games because basically like video game companies themselves can't host tournaments for their own games because that's considered like I don't know, some sort of deceptive advertising or whatever. Or like I don't know.
I thought it said gameplay.
Well, that was one part, but I think the first part is like video game companies can't host tournaments for their own games because it's considered like some sort of insidious advertising. I don't know. It's dumb.
Okay.
And then the
Whatever
next
it
part is
is.
that video games have like RNG elements, so they consider gambling instead of skill-based things. So the Japanese government doesn't allow you to do that like for money either, unless it's like. So you have to go through
Man.
this whole like loophole process where you get like a third party with money to sponsor you. And that's, I mean, with all those barriers, it's just hard to get to that point.
That's
So-
rough.
Yeah,
So that's why I'm assuming they have Red Bull here.
yeah, that's why they have Red Bull here.
I'm assuming anyways. Could be wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, but that is changing
Interesting.
lately. So I think just like last month or something, Puyo Puyo was used to like at an exhibition to the Tokyo Metropolitan Assembly. I think is what it was called. Basically just to show the government what esports are really like. So it makes me really happy that Puyo Puyo is at the forefront of that.
Interesting. I know they had some top Puyo players at one of the Stunfest events.
Oh yeah,
recently.
Kumacho. Yeah, they flew him over. I think it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Maybe
something
they
like
came-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that was pretty cool.
yeah, Puyo Puyo is actually kind of big in France because Ken Bogard, he's like some Street Fighter commentator. So he used his fame to like bring over some Puyo cabinets to the arcades, and I don't know, he gets to talk about it a lot. So there's a pretty big Puyo scene over in France. It's really cool. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
France has like the coolest guys ever. They're like my best friends.
They had the Windjammer tourney going on at Sunfest the year I was there too.
Oh, you actually went? Wow.
I did in 2015. Yep, it was pretty
You
hype.
might as well start the video since it's like 5 minutes of talking before they actually start playing anyways.
Yeah,
so
we're gonna skip that.
Oh, okay.
616 guys.
616.
Sounds fine.
Oh my gosh. My mouse doesn't have enough precision to click there.
Best I can do is 618.
I'm at 619.
I'll just wait 2
Oh, no.
seconds.
Slide it in.
Oh,
Slide
I'll
it in,
wait
guys.
like 4 seconds. Wait, 3 seconds? Okay.
Slide it in, strats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us when to go.
All right, I shall do that. 3, 2, 1, go.
繰り上がりとか、そういうの。
Well, I'm just gonna hope I got lucky.
以下だとダメかもしれない。
4でもいいですけど。
4でもいい。
単純計算をやるとか。
Oh dang, this must be the arcade version. Yep, because it says free play.
入れる場合が多いと思います。
Oh, nice.
今度試してみます。
はい。
So you have to pick this board because this is using the standard rules. The other ones have done things like Point Puyo and whatever.
グックル。
Oh, that's very interesting.
始まりました。
So this is why you
nice.
always see the
So
wood
clear.
background.
色がたくさん。
Yeah.
Wowza. This is like a direct capture.
あるが左から折り返し、ルックルはこれはどこだ？
So
これも左。
we can talk about the players a little. So some of these players are really known for their playstyle. So like Alf,
なるほど。
he's kind of a ghost right now. He hasn't been seen in a while, but he was known for doing like really aggressive attacks like that one, like a gigantic 2-chain.
Oh, they had a nice counter. So now he was forced to set off his chain because
I don't
otherwise
know
he'd just
about
have to take the hit.
but I think he's a pretty standard player, like
Oh, it didn't
balancing,
work out.
making a long chain, and throwing out smaller chains to pressure the opponent.
さあまずは最初
There's a lot of finesse that goes on between like attacking your opponent because you want to make sure like you have a long enough or big enough chain to counter the attacks, but you don't want it too long because that creates, you know, like the chain takes up a whole animation, right? So if your chain is too long, you might get like the other person might set off their chain and you won't have enough time to build back up.
Oh, that's
There's a
such
lot
a
of
cool
calculus.
これ
harassment.
は赤の連結が大きい。
Ooh.
さあ3個返った。
Wow.
微妙な赤の連結の差でアルファ
So Alf kind of did long GTR. If you want to, maybe.
Oh,
It's just-
I mean,
it's just like-
kind of just a
it's just like-
form. I think the most interesting part is just the way they convert their chains to attacks like that really quickly.
赤来ない。
That's what the meta is now like.
紫の後に
Being able to make a decent chain at any point.
赤の必要
Yeah, well, a chain that can be converted to quick attacks from anywhere.
素晴らしかったんですが見逃す
頭は働いてるということですね。
そうですね
On top of that, trying to do it really quickly too, and recognizing not just your side, but our side too. It's pretty
Yeah, you have to keep in mind they're always looking at the other side too as well, and it's really hard if you've ever tried to. It's like it's a bad analogy, but it's like texting and driving.
No, it's totally like that. Sometimes you get tunnel vision, you look, and then you kind of like screw up your own chain. It takes a lot of practice.
本線ですね
And then, you know, you die, kind of like when you text and drive.
81で
Yeah, so don't die.
黄色が
Yeah.
左端間にあった。
Oh, can he make it? Can he make it? Oh, we got the piece he needed.
しかし連鎖日は最後
So let's see if this is enough to counter that whole chain.
黄色はいかない
I don't think it is. Nope.
Ooh, power two. Another power.
Nope.
Yeah, you right.
So even though he
Now they're going
tried,
for overkill.
so even though he like tried to counter it with like his a chain there, like was he lessening the blow at all, or like what was?
Oh
that?
yeah, he was.
Oh yeah, he was listening to the attack, but basically the
it
way
was still
the
feeble.
chaining powers work in Puyo Puyo, like sorta exponential. So like if you don't meet
また左
in chain length or the like equal amounts of Puyos roughly, then like
これ右で
the difference is pretty huge and you kind of just die.
右端に青1個でも
So you have to be very precise when it comes to countering attacks, making sure you have enough
Oh.
yeah, enough.
Gokuru set off his chain because he noticed that Alf was struggling to build his transition.
Gotcha.
Oh, but he set this off. It was like a reversible. Holy cow. All right.
Whoa.
Yeah, so like there's the mind game aspect of the game of Puyo. So like you can make chains that can be popped in two different directions. So like you kind of have to like when you're reading it, you have to kind of guess like are they playing for this or like this other chain?
There was a lot
Like,
going on
what
in
is
that
the
last
opponent
match.
committing to?
Yeah.
So that's a power 2 from the right side. And sometimes the only response
the whole
that the player 1 had was to set off their whole board, which is pretty bad because during that entire animation, the second player can like build up theirs even longer to something even more decisive.
Hmm.
Usually, sometimes you screw up and you still lose anyways.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes the one clear.
Oh, all clear.
So in Puyo Puyo Tsu, they
Zenkashi.
introduced another mechanic called Zenkashi, where basically your next chain, even if it's just like a one chain, it has 30 bonus garbage added to it. So usually the strat for an all clear start is to build vertically, so that you can like take the hit of 30 garbage and then send your chain right back. But there's a lot of reflex involved.
And
Because
all
like, you know,
chains,
both players are
that's-
thinking of doing that, so you might want to catch them off guard with like a quick poke.
Does all chain imply everything gets chained?
All clear? Yeah. Well, you basically have no garbage and no Puyos on your board
Yeah.
after like you make a chain.
Oh,
If you
he's out of
have-
space.
Yeah, if you have that, you want to.
He's so upset too. Or no, he's not upset. Or what? He was happy. So he won. Oh, now they're all clear.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, that was weird.
Sometimes people opt to trade the damage bonus from the all clear instead of trying to have a vertical match. So player 2 is about to set off this 3 chain
That's
or
such a
4
cool
chain
chain.
harassment. Well, player 1, he's doing something crazy, but I think that's like a 5 chain or a 6 chain if they pop the blues, which they are getting.
Oh no. they
Sometimes
need
if you
purple.
don't plan ahead well, then you kind of die miserably like that.
Oh, this could work.
So player 1's chain doesn't connect fully. And I guess player 2 saw that, so they're just setting everything off.
I'm
Nice.
having such a hard time understanding what player 1 is trying to do.
Player 1's chain didn't work from the very beginning because like, he didn't have the yellows popped on the left side.
Oh, okay.
So another big part of Puyo is just punishing your opponent's mistakes. Or like if they have a chain that requires too many Puyos of a specific color to set off, you can like try rushing them with like a short chain or like just setting your entire thing off and hoping that like the aspect of pressure of like something gigantic coming at them makes them like force a mistake.
Hmm. Ooh, player 2 wasn't anticipating him to counter that whole thing. Or maybe it was because he kind of dug right to it. So digging is like the process of like removing garbage and getting back to your main chain. I know we keep shooting out a bunch of vocabulary and you guys are probably like, what are they talking about?
Well, you're explaining it, so that's good.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
if you guys have any
please
questions,
keep doing that.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the countering a bit here. Like,
So if you look above the board, you see the icons.
yeah.
Well, Puyo Puyo 2 uses like a different system, but basically like a rock is like 30, the red face,
Yeah, the red
it's
rock.
like 30 Puyos or something like that.
Garbage, nuisance.
Or
Gem
yeah,
up.
garbage Puyos. That's the most important part. So like it only takes 2 of the red garbage icons
To kill you.
kill you, basically. That fills up 10 rows and you only have 12 rows to build in. So you're basically dead.
Mm.
There's
And
also...
Go on.
No, I don't know if it's worth mentioning, but there's also a mechanic called margin time, which is like if a match goes on too long, which they usually don't in these kind of settings, but if they do, what I mean by that is like these guys are so good that it shouldn't take long. But in
Yeah,
the
usually
event
something
that a
decisive
match-
happens.
In the event that a match takes too long, the game will just increase the amount of damage a chain does. So like a one chain will do like a bunch of garbage instead of just a little garbage over a period of time, and that just makes the match go by faster.
Yeah, it's so like people don't take forever in the arcades, pretty much. But it's a mechanic that's been carried over. So yeah, every 96 seconds, I think the damage increases for chains.
Oh, this was an all clear on the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now,
player 1 got the all clear. Oh,
Ooh,
but
I
player
think
2
that's
has
way
5
bigger.
chains. Kind of a lot. Do you see how much that does? It's like the whole field.
and now they're like stacking on the left to build this counter, but they can't really dig to it because they didn't have enough time. But since they had that all clear, now they sent that over. And, oh, they're gonna counter it though. Dang.
So a big strategy in Puyo sometimes is to build your chain like vertically. So like when the garbage falls, it falls around the chain, but it doesn't block your trigger.
Yeah. So your trigger is like the key point of your chain that activates the rest of the chain. It's like the domino, like dominoes. It's like hitting the first domino.
This is a lot of mind games, huh?
Yeah.
I like it though. Like that's a lot. It's like really a lot of different stuff that can happen and ways to react.
Unfortunately, that makes competitive play look intimidating. But like we mentioned earlier,
I mean, it
so
might look
much,
intimidating. It
there's
might look
so
intimidating
much-
because like there's skill ceiling, but like I mean, you just match 4 colors.
No. Like there's so much variety in like the skill bracket. Like there's
Oh yeah, there's that
pro
too.
players. There's like not pro players. There's
Yeah.
like so much in between.
Well, you mentioned
I mean,
the
I think that
elite,
could
the
be said
leagues
for
here,
any
so,
competitive
yeah.
game, but like in Puyo, it's just like pretty evident. It's like just like the gaps of skill between some people can produce just like huge curb stomps, and it gets kind of depressing sometimes. I don't know.
Well, I
You
guess
need,
my
like,
point
a harder
was
skill to be.
my
a
point
Puyo.
was like don't be intimidated to play Puyo because it's not like this when you're just starting out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are the best of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
It's
talking
just like
about
high-end.
like we're talking about like, hey, everyone starts out the same way, and you're like, oh, we only can make like 3 or 4 chains beyond
That's
that.
good though.
Yeah, that's really good.
Most people can't even do 2, so
Oh yeah, I've
You
seen
do
some really bad
3, you're
people.
getting
I'm just
somewhere.
like, whoa.
There you have it.
Yeah. So the thing about this match is like, imagine being 100 game matches. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's exhausting.
Jesus.
Super
It's like the
exhausting.
ultimate mental strain test.
Like you see them chugging water in between every single match. You know, they got all that Red Bull too. There's a reason why they got sponsored. Can't stay awake for the whole thing without it.
That's so funny.
but you could also notice like the way they're stacking is so different. It's
Mhm.
amazing.
So yeah, when you saw the Masters tournament, the 1997 one, like they were doing really basic stuff like stairs, but the meta's evolved to where you want to do things that are more convertible to like just like attack forbs. So that's what they're doing now.
It also makes them harder to read.
Yeah.
So like I said, each player is watching each other's boards. So if you have to waste more time paying attention to try to and understand their board, that's kind of an advantage to have.
So there's some players that I know that they specialize in just doing the craziest chains ever. I think one of them's called like MF or Popo.
Whoa. I haven't heard of that.
Well, their style is just like, I don't know, tailing focus, but like tailing
Oh, okay.
concepts within like the front of their chain. I know that doesn't make any sense, but basically it's super cool and hard to read. So even
Tail?
like,
I can
like,
explain a tail.
oh, okay.
Tail is just so normally you're extending from the front of your chain, but a tail is extending from the end of your chain.
So
Actually, very
like,
simple.
you see on player 2, like the left side is where the chain starts, but the right side is where it ends. But if you want to be efficient, you can keep going vertically upwards on the right side and add extra links that still work and chain into your whole thing. That's
Jeez.
tailing. So that's basically, I don't know, just another way to efficiently use your pieces.
Player 2 doesn't really have a tail anymore, though. They kind of set it off as a harassment, which is also a good idea in a competitive match. It's to sacrifice parts of your chain just to get leverage on your opponent.
So yeah, there's like lots of different forms that are just harder to read than others. And the more confusing you are, just the bigger advantage you have. Because like, I don't know, I'm always playing against some
wow.
Japanese players who like they pop out like it's power 2 out of nowhere. I was like, what? When did they build that? And then I just accept my death right away. You have to keep your eyes open so much.
Oh, he just needs green.
My eyes are small.
どうなんですか今の心境はどうだったんですかね
I don't think Alpha's gonna be able to catch up to this.
No, I don't think so.
Oof.
So Alpha's known to have a like really risky playstyle where he gambles on like these huge like, you know, big, gigantic 2 chains that kind of use up all of his resources. So if you react properly to it, in theory, you should be able to like just have a longer chain than him. But
Players
he's
are,
really good
like-
at this chain. He's really good at chaining too. So usually
They're,
he's
like,
able to catch up.
Equal right now. Like their scores are they have a 1 point score difference, so they're pretty equal.
さあ先に単発で
Whoa.
アルフが応戦してブックルは
Boy.
ダブルで
Oh, he needs a purple. Okay, he got it. So he's gonna stop his whole chain on the left.
同時消しはある
And that gives the guy on the right a lot of time to think about extending and
アルフ
Oh, no. Okay, he got his purple. this might be a longer one.
あれに連鎖数が長いがゆえに連鎖の火力が大きいがゆえに負けることもある。
Wow.
See?
Can't-
Oh,
yeah,
didn't
that's
respond.
that was pretty crazy.
同時消しは威力が低いんですけどちょっと低いんですけどやっぱり連鎖時間が短い
So, oh yeah.
ところで威力
We mentioned earlier that like all the characters have like shouts, but that's also like an audio cue to let you know that they're
Like how long the
attacking as
chain
well.
is.
That too. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
If you hear the same thing, you know, like you better get that chain going or set
Oh
up.
yeah. So after the 7th chain link, it starts repeating. So yeah, that's when you know you're about to die.
You're in trouble.
Wow, that's a good response.
4連鎖というところが素晴らしいのと、あとは完全にアルフのこれでいけるときちんと勝ちまで予想して打ち切ったのですね。
Do you guys have any questions in the chat? Do we do that?
Yeah.
we could do that. Time
Okay.
being.
Oh,
You guys have any
okay.
questions?
Well, you got Chu in the chat who's really good at Puyo, and people are saying maybe he should have commented with us, but hey, he's here in the chat. He's commenting, so it's all good,
Oh.
everyone.
Shu is OG.
Yeah. He's like secretly #1 Puyo player in the United States, but he's hiding his power level.
Yeah.
埋まる前に紫が欲しくて埋まる前は黄色が欲しかった。
So guys, I was wondering what type of Puyo games do you play these days?
S2.
So, I play Puyo Puyo Tetris for the Nintendo Switch.
Subtle.
Yeah.
No, be honest. Be honest.
Well, okay, so the Japanese Puyo community doesn't really like Puyo Puyo Tetris because like Tetris is in it, and fighting Tetris is just really broke. Actually, Tetris in general, without even considering like Puyo, is like already like a pretty janky game. The Puyo players in Japan don't want to deal with that, so they all play on the 3DS version of Puyo called Puyo Puyo Chronicle. It's actually the newest Puyo game, like real Puyo game, not like a port. It was the newest Puyo game that got released in December 2016. I play that usually because of the quality of the players is higher.
But you also play 20F.
Not really, not anymore.
No? Oh.
Well, nowadays for me it's like Puyo Puyo Chronicle when I want to fight really skilled Japanese players. Puyo Puyo Tetris when I want to play with like Western players, since you know it's the only game we have. And then there's also a version of Puyo called Puyo Puyo Versus. It's a PC fan game that uses Puyo Puyo 2 rules. A lot of people use that. Back in the day, a lot of Japanese players used to use like something called Puyo 2chan, which is basically like a really laggy Flash version of Puyo.
I remember watching
no one plays that
videos of
anymore.
on your channel.
Flash.
Yeah, it's
Save
pretty-
that in for a sec.
It's pretty crazy.
But and, you know, people did what they had to do to get their Puyo matches.
You meant
全
Puyo cravings, man.
全決戦に関しては
Yeah. Casually, I like to play Puyo Pop Fever because that was like my first modern Puyo game I played, and I just really like that one a lot.
Like, Puyo Pop Fever is really great. It was actually the first version of Puyo with netplay, I think.
Yeah.
Like it was the thing is, so the only version of Puyo Pop Fever with netplay was a PC version, but that was only released in Japan, even though it had like an English translation baked into it. Like I have no idea why Sega didn't bother bringing that over. It would have been so successful. Online is like so important for competitive games, but you know, it's like it's hard to question their decisions without just like banging your head on the wall. So it's just like whatever, just accept it. Anyways, so like, actually, so for the for the Wii, there's another port of the arcade version of Puyo Puyo Tsu, like this one, the arcade version that also had netplay. That was pretty cool. But then, as we all know, Nintendo Wi-Fi connection got killed because Nintendo didn't want to support it anymore. Was that the reason, or was that like their service that they're like the third party?
It was just like a time
they
thing.
went down. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was coming to an end at that time.
Like now the eShop's gonna go next too. Sad.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, there is Puyo Puyo Tsu on the Wii eShop. That'll be gone in 2 years.
Oh yeah, don't worry, B. That's good.
Oh,
But
I love
yeah,
playing Mean Bee Machine on Sonic Mania. It's my favorite
Oh yeah.
version of Puyo lately.
Nice. Sonic Mania's
Yeah,
got all, apparently.
Yo, did you know that Puyo Puyo is going to be at AGDQ 2018? It's so crazy. I can't believe it. I'm really happy that, I mean, it's in the form of Sonic Mania, but you know, beggars can't be choosers.
You have to play it in the playthrough of Sonic Mania?
Well,
Yeah.
there's
Oh.
the run they chose. Yeah, you do.
Nice.
Like no boss skips run.
Nice.
So, a lot of respect points for Claris Robin for choosing to run the game and actually include Puyo. It makes me really happy.
Exposure is exposure. I mean, one way or another, right?
I tried to submit a Puyo Tetris run, but it got rejected
Mhm.
because it was too long. I mean, I can understand. It's a puzzle game that's gonna last for like a whole hour, I guess.
Gotta match up to that Tetris site with some Puyo at some
Well,
point.
I mean, actually, so apparently they weren't intending to run Tetris at all this year from the very beginning. They were just going to by default reject all the Tetris runs. Because did you hear about like last year, right? The setup block for Tetris took like a whole hour.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
of
was, like,
course.
a whole hour of nothing on stream. I guess they didn't want to deal with that again.
Oh,
Oh, that's arcade subs for you.
yeah.
So the thing is, I know this video is kind of logged.
Yeah, we were not gonna
Yeah.
watch
Yeah.
all of it.
Definitely.
Anything
So-
else you want to talk about?
Like, yeah, like how do you start getting better at like seeing the chain possibilities? Do you just play through experience and then start getting better, or there's probably some like community or resource we can check for like all the different techniques, right?
Well,
You
on
better believe it.
PuyoNexus.com, there's a wiki where we have a lot of the chaining forms documented. We got it from like a Japanese wiki and translated it.
Awesome.
So if you like image train those and just like burn it into your minds, the shapes that are possible or like really popular to use, that can help you.
Yeah,
Because
so basically
they-
just like learn a pattern and practice it and really just practice it and you'll get really good.
Yeah. Another thing you could do is just, you know, watch videos like this of the higher level players going at it.
Just try to like, would you say copy the sequences is a good way to,
Yeah,
to do it?
seeing what the build order they're
Absolutely.
using is a pretty big part.
Like, well, as we kind of mentioned, they're kind of using non-standard build forms here, so this is a little harder to follow. But
This is a little harder to follow, but
it's a little more straightforward and more other matches.
if you find people that are like Western level, like me,
I didn't want to say that. I was avoiding to say that. But yeah.
It's okay.
I'm kind of bad, so I use some pretty basic patterns. I think you can learn a lot watching from my videos, I guess. Of course.
Oh, dang.
Well, there's also, thankfully from Sega, there's actually a video presented by S2 about the basics of Puyo.
Oh yeah, so Sega contacted me about helping them make tutorial videos. That was cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was so great. I'm really proud of the harassment video I made about showing like high level tactics, like reading your opponent's board and stuff.
Dude,
Yeah.
we got to get links to that for the YouTube description. I want.
Oh.
Oh, sure.
People got.
I'll bring it up
have this
now.
on Puyo Nexus, so
Okay.
That's
touch
awesome.
that.
That's really cool.
There's also this chaining video made by Hernan. It's pretty old, but it teaches you like the basics of the blocking method of building a
So-
chain. That's also a good way to
yeah.
start. That's how
Like
I
a
started.
vertical mentality you can have to just like get you through like a basic Puyo game. It's just like the idea of blocking. So like you get 3 colors, you block it off with a different color, and then you put like the 4th color like somewhere near it.
Kind of near it. Okay, that's a really good tip.
A decent chain. It's only when you want to get like perfect like efficiency like these players and like get 12 chains super efficiently is when you really start to need to know how to do patterns.
Then as you get better and better, I guess you can start to make different mutations and
Yeah.
freestyle and that type of thing, which seems like kind of crazy. Because like definitely for me, like when I play a puzzle game in general, like it's hard to know exactly what mindset to have, and just to have that simple explanation there, like that really goes a long way to just to make a 3-part and then section it off and then do another 3 and then maybe build the chain that way. Like that helps a lot, because I think for a lot of people, including myself, it's just like kind of fumbling around, just making the 3s or trying to do something, but no clear clear direction. So I think at least having some of that would probably help quite a bit.
Hey Tucker, does this happen to you too? So like, sometimes when like Tucker releases a new Puyo game, like it always takes a while for my eyes to adjust to like how shiny the new Puyo skins are.
No,
So, like,
that
it just
totally
feels
happens
like-
to me too.
So like, I don't
I think
know.
I'm just crazy though. I just want to
No.
blame something, and I'm just
Well,
like,
no,
oh, it's
it's
because
that
of the
feeling-
shiny Puyo.
But it's just a disoriented feeling. Like I'm pretty sure that's how like newbies feel when they see Puyo.
What?
But if
what's
you like
cool about
didn't play
modern Puyo
enough-
is that you can change the skin to the old skin.
Oh yeah, you can. Anyways, so like I just think beginners probably feel that way. Like your eyes are kind of just like glazing over the screen and you don't really know what's going on, and it's just happening really fast. But once you practice enough, I don't know, your life will just be filled with clarity, and you'll be strong and powerful.
S2 mentioned just looking at the wiki and practice chaining forms, but like I think it's a little overwhelming because there's a bunch on that wiki.
Yeah,
So it's probably just better to start with either sandwich or stairs.
yeah.
Keep it
So those
simple
are like
at
the
first,
basic.
okay.
Yeah, those are the most basic ones. Like the concepts of stairs and sandwich are usually carried over to other patterns too. Just in the way like the Puyos fall and pop.
Bye Bye S has Puyo ever had colorblind options? Not like they don't straight out say it, but there's more skins that are colorblind friendly. Like there's a skin that just changes all the Puyo to letters, and then there's like this other skin that's like called metallic, and apparently people kind of just use that, and they say that works pretty well.
Now, mind you, we're talking about Puyo Puyo Tetris, right?
20th, 15th.
Well,
so-
modern Puyo
and-
games, yeah.
Yeah, modern Puyo games have
Okay.
skin options.
The ones that Sega have made, like those have
Retro Puyo,
options.
yeah, you're kind of out of luck. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Sun has skins.
Does it? Oh.
I don't know. One of them, a couple of them do, I believe.
Well, I mean, I can kind of understand, the compile games have bad colorblind options because are there even that many Japanese people with like color blindness? I don't think so.
I don't know. Fun
It's like-
trivia
just
though.
like- I don't know.
Wait, what about
Genetic-
what about the eyes though? Don't the eyes tell you? Do the eyes tell you
eyes-
anything?
Sort of tell you, but I don't know. In
In
classic
Puyo
skin,
games,
it's
they
hard
kinda
to tell
look the same.
apart. Yeah. And the
Other
newer Puyo
one-
games is a lot easier.
Well, there are different like
Um,
shapes too, right? Like the yellow is like more oval, more egg than the purple, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I mean, colorblind
on
should
big
work,
screen,
right?
Look kind of like pixels, so.
I mean, you gotta look closer, sure, but they are different, right? So
what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So, are you guys familiar with Sam Mullen? He works at Sega. He's a localization producer. and he's colorblind, and he did Puyo Tetris, but he recommends playing the metallic skin. He said that one works pretty well for him.
Yeah, it's for red.
okay.
I think for red-green color blindness.
And Hernan, I previously mentioned, he's also colorblind, and he's like one of the best.
So I think the newest Puyo game, Puyo Puyo Chronicle, the gummy skin is pretty good for blue-purple color blindness. I
I
think.
love that skin.
It's so cute.
Nice.
So, I got a few questions. What's the recommended like combo you should set for?
Huh?
Like, what's the
Mm,
maximum combo you should probably like for a beginner? Like, what do you think should be?
Oh, maybe
Five
like
chain's
a
fatal.
5. A 5 chain's pretty good. A 7 chain is when you know you should move on to like learning more things.
Well, yeah. So, it's a good point actually. So, the biggest chain you can make without doing a transition and/or a turnaround is 5, but you could probably
Maybe
get it
you
with
can push
6.
a 6. Maybe.
So once you hit that wall, you kind of know that like you need to learn how to do a transition, and at that point,
Like build vertically at the wall.
yeah. So you won't really get to like a higher chain level until you get better at building.
Another thing about Puyo is that like you shouldn't beat yourself up over like not having like pristine looking chains like all the pros do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like chaining efficiently is hard until you like the thing about it, like I don't know, like
Until you see like
the
Puyo
chaining,
Matrix.
like, exponential
Yeah, I was gonna say.
control is,
Until
like,
you can see.
until you hit the point where you learn like how to do turnarounds and transitions, like you just don't have enough. You just like don't know enough spots to place your pieces, so you always have pieces you don't know what to do with. So that like you're kind of crappy. But then once it clicks how to do the transitions, then you just like open up so many more options, and your chaining gets so much more cleaner, and you get like dramatically better.
Like, when was that moment for you guys when you like kind of stepped it up from the beginner level, I guess?
After I watched
remember.
Hernan's video and practiced. No joke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
After that, I was like, "This is how you play the game."
Yeah,
And
I
I
love
just
those
grew from there.
realizations. Cool.
It'll click. You'll be like, "Whoa, I can see the Matrix now."
We got another question from Innie. What made the biggest difference to you improving when you were still learning?
Something that really resonated with me was when S2 taught me about color management, not cutting your chain. We did like
Oh.
this session. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I
we did
think I
like
remember
this session where you watched me and another player, and you were just like, "Don't put it there. You have to put it here, otherwise your chain will cut."
Yeah, so I actually like do this kind of training with people a lot recently now, just like tutoring. So basically, when you play Puyo, you always have to keep in mind that like if I place this here, what does it commit me to do like everywhere else in my chain? Like
Mhm.
just like a lot of forward thinking you have to do, and just knowing that like okay, if I place this like in this column, it'll make like this conflict with another color that just ruins everything, so I can't place it here. Like going through that thought process, like it sounds kind of long, but with enough practice you can pull it off in a real match.
Yes. So I mentioned, the word cutting. That's basically just when you accidentally set off your more of the chain than you wanted to, or like it ends prematurely.
Mhm.
Like sometimes you can do that strategically to catch people off guard, but most of the time you're kind of just like, oh, I effed up.
Right.
So yeah, this entire time these players like they've made like really long 10 chains, but then they cut it up into small 2s and 3s to attack the other person with.
But going back to like color management, it's really, 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 really complicated in a way, because when you're building your chain, like the optimized way to build it is to use the colors that you can't work with to extend the end of your chain, so that way you're not like putting them off to the side or
Yeah, a lot of people
making your
you know,
chain like I don't know, it's a good way to explain it. Like when you're building stairs, the ideal way to build stairs is to have 3 of one color and then have 3 of another color behind it, and then the color behind it be on top of the previous. I'm bad at explaining things.
It's pretty.
I mean,
it's
eventually,
pretty
like
detailed,
you see, like
isn't it?
beginners, like they kind of just like throw all the puyos like to the side, and it just like stacks up, and like none of them do anything.
I can get a visual.
Like once you get better, you have a better idea. Like you can think ahead and pre-plan like extra different types of attacks, and just set up for those. That's pretty important for being a good player.
So if you don't really have like the game per se, what's a good software to practice at the moment? I know we discussed about that earlier, but which one do you think would be a good place to start?
Puyo Versus is a pretty good option because it has a still active player base and it's PC, so it's easy to get and it's free. Another option is like this one Japanese simulator that I guess I can link in stream chat, but basically it has zero gravity and lets you like undo and redo your moves.
Oh, that thing's awesome.
Yeah, it's so good. So you can like train that way.
Yeah, don't forget also the Puyo Nexus chain simulator as well.
Yeah,
that's always
that's pretty good for just like clicking and like trying out different random things to see like, oh, maybe this will actually work.
Oh, it's like
it's being creative.
You can like just mess around.
Yeah.
Nice. That's really cool.
There's also a app for iOS called Chain Sim. I think there's also one. I think that's for Android. I think the one on Apple is. Let me just pull up for a sec. I forgot what it is. Puyo Later. That's the one on iOS.
Oh yeah, I see Japanese players using that a lot. It's cool.
Very cool.
Oh, you could also half ask the practice by playing Puyo Puyo Quest, but that's not really teaching how to play.
Not really.
Not really. Oh well, the newer Puyo games, they also have similar to the Zero Gravity Chain Simulator, like the other modern Puyo games besides Puyo Tetris. There's like an option to like rewind your moves, so you can like redo your chain if you mess up. That's pretty cool. And also
rewind, nice.
Yeah, it also has like a little guide cursor that shows you where your trigger is, so you can stay focused.
And that's really nice.
Yeah.
Which one was that again?
It's in like Puyo Puyo 20th Anniversary and Puyo Puyo Chronicle for the 3DS.
Okay.
But not in Puyo Tetris for some reason. Very strange.
What? Was that in the original version of Puyo Puyo Tetris on the
No,
PS3?
It wasn't in any version.
Oh, let's see.
I don't know why, but I'm guessing Sega just stripped it out because just to make it, I don't know,
streamlined, quote unquote.
Streamlined experience, but actually these full features removed. I don't know. But yeah, you can import one of those pretty easily. You know, it's pretty easy to get custom firmware on your 3DS and play Japanese games.
Yeah, that's like the crappy thing about modern Puyo is like we have to go through all these hurdles just to play the game. Besides, Puyo Tetris, but that's also not really a perfect place to go.
But it is a place to start. You'd say at least.
Yeah, absolutely. As a place to start, yeah, it's fine. But like endpoint competitive play, it's a problem.
Yeah, okay.
It definitely is.
I mean, PlayStation, it doesn't have region lock.
Oh yeah, so recently on the PlayStation Store, they've been releasing old Puyo games. So you can get like Puyo Puyo Sun off the Japanese PlayStation Store. I think they released Yawn too, right? Puyo Puyo 4.
Yep.
That one was kind of jank, but it's pretty cool. So there's options to get the Puyo games lately. Although, I mean, I don't really understand how the copyright works for compiled version Puyo games. Since, like, I don't know, the whole copyright situation between compile and transferring Puyo to Sega never really made sense to me.
Yeah, so Puyo wasn't originally a Sega IP. It was compiles, but they ended up acquiring it over a deal.
Yeah, but then I have no idea how that affects
simple.
like the dungeon crawler games or like the old Puyo games. So
right,
like
I think they have the rights to all the old Puyo games because they have. I want to say Kaitaben might be on there. Not sure.
Cool stuff. Well, sounds like we scratched the surface of Puyo pretty nicely here. I mean, there could be a whole nother episode on like high level play or even commentating these matches more in depth. So maybe we could have Shu back on and you guys on for another episode.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
let Shu do all the work.
Yeah.
Get him back for the revenge episode. But I mean,
What? Oh, is there bad blood? Can we get like our popcorn out? I want to hear all the drama.
Puyo drama. Oh shit.
What? No, I'm talking about your drama.
Wait, what drama?
There's no drama?
No.
It's just normal? Oh, okay. All right, bye.
I'm confused.
Don't worry about it.
Sorry, I was just waiting for something exciting like that. Yeah, just don't worry about it. So is there anything else you want to talk about?
I think I'm alright. Beats go. I don't know.
No, I think we basically covered almost everything we can think of. That's
Sweet.
Yeah, this was definitely fun. You guys did a good job, I think, talking about it, and I'm interested in playing some more Puyo myself. That's always a sign of good things here, because
Oh yeah.
part of the
we
reason
didn't
the show
mention
is,
this. There's
Oh,
an
go ahead.
active Discord community if you guys are interested too. They'll help you out and everything too.
Yeah, let me share that right now so people can jump.
Yeah, yeah, I recommend sharing that now. I don't think you'd want that shared on like a YouTube description, would you? Putting Discord links on YouTube.
No,
is,
we have one on our
This
website, so
Yeah, we
you
don't
wouldn't mind.
care.
Okay.
This
Yeah.
one's actually it's actually public, so you guys can jump in anytime. More than welcome to ask dumb questions if you want to. I'm not saying every question is dumb. It's just you may feel like it's a dumb question, but it's never.
no, never.
A welcoming
okay.
community is always a good one.
I deal with
mentioning-
stupidity every day, aka.
But also
myself.
runs casual beginner tournaments every month. And that's that's a good way to get involved in the community as well. It's just playing in our beginner tournaments, because there's like different brackets for each skill level. So even if you're just starting out, you can play and you probably be just fine.
We got the resources.
Yeah.
All we need is the courage at this point.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh yeah, courage is definitely the first step.
Mhm.
It's all about having fun in the end.
I mean,
True.
I know a lot of people who've gotten discouraged because it just isn't easy at all to get good at Puyo. But I think it's worthwhile because Puyo is forever. Like, these people you see on the right, they're like, I don't know, like mid-30s or something. They've never stopped playing. None of them have really retired yet.
That's cool.
Or maybe they're like in ghost retirement, but they still play.
Yeah.
Like, I could see people playing this when they're like old, they're like 80 years old. Like, I'll be playing this game forever.
Hell yeah.
So
Puyo
any
200.
Sure. I'll buy it.
So I think we have like a few more questions we can answer before
Yeah.
Closing out. So I think Ine asks, what do you think Puyo community needs in order for it to grow?
Probably money.
Two things really: more players and a localized Puyo game that isn't Tetris.
Oh, and money.
Mhm.
And money.
Yeah. Yeah, money. I don't know.
Well, we were talking
I'm
about that
thinking-
earlier. With the-
I don't
the
know.
group.
It's just like, I don't know. I'm just crunching all the costs of going out to conventions and flying to places to try to promote Puyo scene, but it's just hard without money. I wish money could fall out of the sky.
And land in my pocket. That'll definitely work.
Yeah.
I love money.
Money makes the world go around, unfortunately.
In tournaments, how many wins are required to win the set? Usually, is the question we got right now.
So for casual tournaments, we usually
First to
we play
10,
it to, we
Or
do
did
first.
change it?
I think we do like first to 10s. Those are pretty decent. Although for more serious matches, we do first to 20s. And then
Yeah,
for the
like the
ultra
finals.
serious grudge matches, you do first to 50.
That's like.
And then if
that's
you like
crazy.
really hate someone or you're super rivals, you play first to 100.
Yeah, like the more matches you play is like a better indication of where you are skill wise.
Yeah, so like I mean, it's a puzzle game with like, you know, imperfect information. You only see forward C pieces. So there is like admittedly like RNG involved. So the more matches you play, the more confident you are, like, you know, the result isn't to some like just because of some sort of variance or anything.
Yeah, we didn't really
The
touch
better
on
player will win.
like reading the what's coming up next too much, did we? But I think it was kind of implied.
Yeah, that's like a whole nother thing. Like, not only do you have to watch your opponent and your board, you have to watch your next pieces.
It's okay if we
Yeah,
overlook
we
a
could
couple
share
things.
that. We could share that video later on in the YouTube description of the eye watching, because that's really insane. It's just a different pacing, but yeah, that's
Okay, Butt says in the stream chat, what's the highest first 2 point I can play before my brain dies? I mean, I've played up to like, I think my most I've ever done is like 200 something points.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, my brain doesn't die. Like, I can still do like zombie, like 10 chain sandwiches, but like
Sandwich zombie.
in terms of like actually observing the opponent and making smart decisions, I think I die once I get like 15 points in. I'm weak.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
My favorite thing is when you start checking Twitter, and then I can actually start winning.
But checking Twitter is the best part of playing Puyo.
When do you do that?
When he gets bored of me.
No, I mean, like, you know, sometimes important things happen. You know, you gotta juggle your life responsibilities.
Mid Puyo match?
Yeah. It's all unjust. It's nothing offensive.
Well, in Puyo Puyo Tetris speedruns, I want the standard to be like during party mode. So you guys played all the modes in Puyo Tetris, right?
I
Have
kind
you?
of did.
So like, there's a mode called party mode where, you know, it has items and stuff.
Oh gosh.
And the match is decided by your score after a certain timer ends. And, you know, the timer isn't skippable. So during a speedrun, I don't know. I just always end up finding myself eating lunch or something during the party mode segments.
Oh gosh. It's
Pretty exciting.
I know.
I
that
love
mode.
lunch.
Oh my god, that mode is. I don't know how I feel about it. It's like you could be good, but at the same time, you're like, well, you could just throw all these stupid items at people, and you may not be good, but you'll win. It's like,
Well, no. I think making a big chain still gets you like a pretty hefty point lead. So you still have to be kind of good. But I don't know. No one tries to play it competitively. So against computers, you usually just like get like a 12 chain and then put your controller down. It's like, even if you die, there's no way for the CPU to outchain you. So like, there's no point in trying.
Oh,
It's pretty boring.
I know we also kind of focused on the competitive part of it, but there's so much casual stuff in Puyo as well, because Puyo just has really strong characters and they're all really funny.
Oh crap, did you guys hear my Puyo Quest notification? I've been ignoring it.
oh yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, so like Puyo Quest is like, I think one of Sega's most lucrative mobile games.
Makes them tons.
I think they made like $5 million each month. Something
Yeah.
outrageous
Oh my
like
gosh,
that.
that's insane.
Yeah.
I haven't even spent money on the game yet.
Oh, but you play it?
Wait,
Wow.
Yes.
You play
Yeah.
like Puyo Quest? Oh, awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, except for it's like, well, I don't know how I feel about the game after playing Puzzle and Dragons for a while.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
Which-
I don't know. Unless it's to me, Puyo Quest is like, unless you're really into the characters, there's nothing really new added or new being offered from that game.
A lot of people play just Puyo Quest for like, well, the art designs for the characters are always pretty good.
I love the art style in modern.
Yeah.
Puyo.
So modern Puyo games have a distinct like 2D art style that's usually carried over to all the new games. Usually. But people love it, and they just eat it up whenever Sega releases a new character. Even if it's just like some random throwaway character with no backstory. Just like, oh, yo, I don't know. There's like, how many characters are in Puyo Quest now? Like 800 of them?
There's a
Too
lot,
many.
there's
Jeez.
way too many characters.
but people love them.
Like most of them are trash, but like you gotta level them up and unlock their new art. So,
I can see the dynamic
I love
being
all the
fun
voice
there.
acting in Puyo.
oh yeah, Puyo has like a ridiculous amount of voice acting. I wonder how Sega pays for that. I don't know.
with they probably paid it for whatever they earn during that week.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Any other questions?
I think that's wrapping it up here.
All right.
Yeah, good episode. Definitely got a good taste of Puyo. I'm excited. And
Oh yeah, let us know if you want to like, I don't know. Actually, well, we can get Shu to teach you. He's a great teacher.
Yes. Way of the PvP.
I used to play with
Wow.
Shu all the time when I was a child, but now I'm like old and sad. So
when I was a child.
whereas Shu is still like, I don't know. I think he's eternally 20. I think he has like some magic serum.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Steelix.
Puyo keeps you young, right?
Yeah.
Let's just go with that. Okay, so that's gonna do it for Awesome Game Replays, episode number 22. Really great to have you guys on, S2 and Tucker.
Yeah,
oh
thank you.
yeah,
Thanks
no
for having us.
problem. That was
Yeah,
fun.
This was
Thanks for
fun.
joining us.
You guys did a good job talking about the game. So yeah, good stuff, and glad we could do this episode. And like I say, maybe we'll have a revenge episode that will just be even more hardcore. But clearly, we've got the different skill levels and whatnot. So there's a whole journey ahead of us, right?
Revenge.
The revenge
Against who?
Puyo returns.
Yeah. And then Beatsco, of course, for co-hosting. But any final words, and then I'll wrap it up here.
If you play Puyo, I love you. That's
Same.
much it.
Nice. That's it.
Go
Yeah.
buy Puyo, guys.
Just buy
Yeah,
it.
please buy. Throw all your money away. It's for a good cause. It's for the future.
Yeah, maybe.
It's
Okay.
for friendship.
Steelix
Okay, that's-
might be suggesting like we all go PvP shoe or something.
Oh,
it's the shoe Kumite.
Yeah.
Shu versus the world.
Who knows? Alrighty. Well, we'll get out of here then. Alright, so till next time everyone, AGR22. Take care everyone.
Alright. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
That was a long one.